in the middle of Kansas is a woman who you're going to hear a lot about, and very few people around have seen her, though, right?
Very few have seen her, and very few have heard of her. You're right. Jackie Stiles is probably the best basketball player you've never seen. Well, this past Saturday, I was fortunate enough to see the final home game of her career, and I have to tell you, she is the most unbelievable athlete I have ever covered. Here's part one of a story we'll call Big Time in a Small Town.
Well, I was born in a small town, and I live in a small town. I died in a small town, small community.
Claflin, Kansas, population 700. Claflin High School enrollment 97. But it's one certain senior that has these people lined up in this small central Kansas town. What are you here for?
To watch Jackie Stiles.
Oh, she's the best player in the state of Kansas.
She's the best ball player in the United States.
We had some Claflin people about 9 o'clock lined up with their tents and chairs and having a good time.
I really appreciate all the support that I'm getting, you know, from our community and from the other communities. It's a great feeling, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Jackie is arguably the best basketball player in Kansas high school history. Earlier this year, she broke both the girls' and boys' career scoring records, but she didn't become this good, or shall I say this great, by accident.
Why are her skills so awesome?
Practice. She has taken the art of practice to a new level.
It seems like I spend, you know, every bit of my spare time in the gym. You know, during the season, I make 1,000 shots probably twice a week. You know, if I don't make 1,000 shots, I have a 45-minute workout that I do every day. You know, like before a game, I have a workout, and then the day of a game, I come in the morning, I shoot, and I make 115 shots. So it's pretty much each and every day, you know, I'm in the gym working out.
She has set her goals that are unmatched. I mean, to be the best. You know, who does that?
Jackie does. That's who. And once the ball is tipped off, she is the best.
And get these numbers. She averages 47.5 points per game. She had 71 in a game earlier this year. She's headed to Southwest Missouri State to play her college ball. She's a finalist for both the Naismith and Gatorade Player of the Year awards. Those are awarded to the best player in the country. Now, part two of this story is coming up tomorrow at 6. We'll focus on her game, and believe me, you don't want to miss that. It is quite a treat.
Well, last night, if you were with us, we were all introduced to a young woman named Jackie Stiles, who is just an incredible basketball player.
Yeah, and if you're a connoisseur of basketball, so to speak, she reminds you of Larry Bird. I mean, this was a guy who always stayed after late and came early and shot hundreds and hundreds of shots. And
what'd she say? 2 times a week she tries to make 1,000 shots?
Right.
And that's just a day.
And that's routine for her.
That's incredible.
And it definitely shows on the court. She's a nominee for the Gatorade and Naismith National High School Player of the Year Award. How good is she? When she was a sophomore, she broke her right hand, then averaged over 20 points a game shooting left-handed. Craig Borgman continues his profile of Jackie Stiles, the best high school basketball player you've probably never seen.
Jackie Stiles, her stats are simply stunning. This season, she's averaging 47.5 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists per game. In one game, she scored 71. For her career, she's pouring in more than 35 points a game. Her field goal percentage, 59%. And earlier this year, she became the all-time scoring leader in the state of Kansas.
You start looking at those numbers, and it's staggering, so we don't even try. Not yet. I mean, we'll look back in a year or two and in 50 years and just be stunned.
I know I can just improve all aspects of my game. I guess that I get that from my dad, because he's a coach, you know, and that's kind of a coach's philosophy. You always have room for improvement, so I keep working every day, and I just want to be the best basketball player I possibly can become.
Playing for a 1A school, people may wonder, how would she do at a more competitive level?
Played on the junior national team. I went against, you know, the most amazing athletes, and, you know, that's where I gauge myself, you know, what I need to improve on, because when you're playing against such great players, you can see your weaknesses, what you need to work on.
Next year, Stiles will work on her game at Southwest Missouri State. But it was only after a painstaking recruiting process that included over 2,000 letters and countless phone calls that she decided to head for Springfield.
Well, that recruiting process was one of the toughest things I've ever went through. I mean, you know, I never imagined it would be that intense, and it was just very mentally and physically draining.
Jackie's future goals are to play in the Olympics and even play professionally in the women's NBA. But she still has unfinished business at Claflin.
Our main goal has always been, we've worked hard. We want that state championship.
You break out into a cold sweat thinking that next year she's not going to be here?
She's not? Oh, God, nobody told me that.
Jackie Stiles, a superstar basketball player, a superstar person. In Claflin, Craig Borgman, News Source 49 Sports.
Now, Jackie and her Claflin teammates make up the second-ranked 1A team in the state. Claflin opened sub-state play Friday night against Lewis High School in Dodge City. By the way, the highlights in Craig's story there were from Saturday's 47-39 loss to Little River. Claflin's first loss of the season. Stiles had 34 of her team's 39 points.